and then resolve right line. What the feature is going to do, it can do anything, right? Okay, so welcome to, welcome to feature 1 if logged. Okay, now we're going to enhance actually this thing, but at this point I just want to show you actually how this works. Now we have feature 1, there we go, so we have to implement it. So if we are logged in, all right, if we are logged in, now what do we do? I have to now declare this one in the actually factory right here. So basically, but before I do this, I would need to extract a an interface, right? Reset. Okay, it's very important. Oops, there we are. So I'm going to back to the factory at this point. What I'm going to do is I will say the following: public static I feature, right? I feature, and that's going to be new feature for me, right? New feature 1. Anyway, on it, expression, then just call it feature. Okay, yeah. Then in program we can call it at this point. Okay? So in program I do it like I feature. There we go. Feature equals to factory dot new feature, right? Hope this is. I hope it's easy to understand, but once you kind of get to it or watch me doing it at least a couple times, you will understand what. And then call the f now instance, and then just call the method, which is this one right here, right? To feature 1 and close the brackets. So if we are logged in now, what's going to happen is the user second, if we're logged in, obviously I'm going to save this once, the user will hit to this point. We'll call this method and we will get displayed this information. Okay, so is that right? So let's just check. Welcome to feature 1. Actually, up to this point, you are logged in. Okay, and if you're logged off, there is no way you can get to this point. So let's force logging off at this point. You can't get to that point. You see, if you're logged off, actually, you can't get to really this point. All right. So we're logged in, we can do this. But we said that we would like something that's by far more complex at this point. So we would like to process invoices, okay, under this feature 1, right? That's excellent. But then how do we do it? And that's we have to build now that mechanism, which is going to do what we require, right? So for that purpose, feature 1. All right. So for that purpose, I'm going to create a new class. We set invoices right here. We mentioned new class, which is going to be model for an invoice. Okay. That's going to be public class invoice. All right. And all right, I have a typo, public class invoice. And then obviously, I will just include one property, but just to keep things simple right here. And I hope that you get the idea, but you can easily extend the model actually by adding other properties as well. So I will just include the invoice number, right? And we'll set the get and setter, right? But then I will also include the collection right here under this one, okay? Keep things simple at this point for you because, and this is of a complex type invoice. Just keep that in mind, okay? and then I will say invoices, say get set, and get a new instance of it. It's very important, okay? And then we need to, what we need to do is we need invoices to process, right? So we need a collection of invoices, which consist invoice number and possibly other properties, which I don't have them at this point, to process. So at this point, what do we do? Okay, so I'm going to write a public list, right, of a complex type invoice of our model and call it invoices to process. You will get to understand now at this point. I'm actually building this as I'm writing code, so it could be a little bit confusing, but once I finish the application, then you will get to understand it better, and I'm going to go over it as well for you. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to do something different right here, which is a little bit different than what we did under the, if you recall, under the login details. We did something similar when we fed the collection with information, right? I called directly the new instance of the collection of the complex type login, right? And I just said pump. Actually, we inserted all the information right here. At this point, I'm not going to do it this way, but in this point, I'm going to include a parameter right here. I think I mentioned about this right before, but I did not use it. I took this approach. But now for this exercise, for this feature, I'm going to use a list of the invoice, complex type invoice again, and then I'm going to call it underscore invoices, right? Underscore. And so that's a little bit different at this time. That means that when calling this method, I'm going to pass in this actually collection after that instead of, and that's why I have the parameter. Well, let's see how this works. So in my cases now, I'm not going to call invoices, but I will call underscore invoices. And I will say new list, and then let's just set those invoices quickly. Okay, so that's going to be new invoice and invoice number. I hope that you get my point right here. But again, the course assumes that you do have some knowledge